I scorched the earth with these hot lines for the millionth time. Fire and brimstone erupting from the microphone. I steal the show and like a thief.
Leaves are starting to change color around north central Ohio, and the temperatures are beginning to dip. And it's starting finally to feel a little bit like football.
Right. This is, I was thinking to myself last week. I'm like, are we going to get to some football weather, or are we just going to keep playing in all this hot sun, or what are we going to do here?
I'm tired of cramping and water timeouts.
Right.
We've reached week 5 of the high school season already, and for the first 4 weeks, I think the first 4 weeks have reinforced what we kind of thought we knew in the preseason, and that's that Ashland, Lexington, Shelby, and Hillsdale, some teams that we thought are going to be very good. It turns out they're very good. Those 4 teams are a combined 15-1. The one loss was when Shelby beat Lexington, so it was they were playing each other. So those teams that we thought we were going to be good are living up to what is expected of them, I guess.
Yeah, and I think some teams and even some individuals on those teams have really set themselves apart. Some teams are showing that they're possibly even better than we thought they would be.
Right.
To start the season.
If the playoffs started today, 11 of the 20 schools in our 3-county coverage area would be in, and that's after the OHSAA had decided to contract the playoffs. It's something that I can't believe we've gone 4.5 or 5 weeks of the podcast without talking about. I mean, for those people who don't know, the OHSAA in June voted to. Well, they announced that instead of 16 teams per region, it's just going to be 12 teams per region. The top 4 teams will get a bye, and additionally, the first 3 rounds of the playoffs will be hosted by the higher seed. In the past, it was those first 2 rounds. So now it goes through the regional semifinals, and then it shifts to neutral sites. F is letting less teams into the playoffs a good thing, do you think? I mean, there were some pretty one-sided first round games.
It just kind of depends on how you feel. I think that if you're a proponent of competitive balance, I think this is the way to go.
Right.
Because I no one wants to see teams that are, because everybody knows there are levels.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Everybody knows, look, I don't want to see a school get pounded for 3.5 quarters. You know what I mean? In a playoff game, at on a visitor's home field. I just don't want to see that. And a lot of teams, and I think they had given some of the teams had options not to play.
Right.
And it's just gotten to. I thought it was a little bit ugly. So I think we might be in a sweet spot here, and I think they're going to adjust some more probably, but I think we might be in a sweet spot here with the 12.
And back in your day when you played, it was
4.
It was a lot tougher to get in.
4, buddy. Top 4. That's it.
Yeah. And Hayden, I mean, you played on a team that went to the playoffs. I mean, do you like the idea of a smaller field?
I do. I think Effie kind of touched on it. I think if you're looking at competitive balance, it was getting a little watered down for those reasons, for those games that were complete and utter blowouts where. If you're the better team, you're almost a little bit worried. I mean, I'm sure for your starters, there was probably constricted minutes. You don't want to risk an injury in a game like that when you know what's ahead of you. So, I think you might have nailed it, Effie. I think this might be a sweet spot. We'll see this year. Still doesn't mean there can't be lopsided scores, but.
Well, and I also think, though, on the flip side of that, there are football purists or high school purists and who think about the fact that, look, it's still a game. And there's still kids involved, and it's for the experience, and that's why I think they went to the 16 teams because at the end of the day, you can't really justify holding young people out from an experience,
right.
And that's really what it's about. And with all this monetization of amateur athletics now, it's we don't want to push that along, especially we don't want to bring that into high school sports. So I get where they were trying to go with that, but I think in the interest of safety, in some cases, some of these games can be unsafe.
Right.
For some kids, I think in the interest of everything, I think we might be in a sweet spot here with the 12 teams.
Well, I think even my junior year, I believe we were 6-4 and we missed out on the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, you win 3 games, 2 games, 1 game for some teams last year you were in. So, I mean, that provided that other part for us, I remember, of the anxiousness of waiting, but it's almost fun. You know, it's like March Madness when they have cameras on the teams finding out if they get in. And, I mean, the first time we ever had a home playoff game was senior year, and that was the first time I ever got to go to the playoffs. So, I mean, that was irreplaceable.
Right. Well, there's no shortage of storylines around North Central Ohio. I think it's safe to say that Shelby has been the talk of the region through the first 4 weeks. The Whippets are averaging 46 points a game. They lead the MOAC averaging 439 yards a game. Brayden DeVito, the quarterback, an Air Force recruit who stopped by a few weeks ago, has thrown for more than 10,400 yards now, if my calculations are right, and is closing in on the top 10 in state history. At his current pace, he'll become the 5th quarterback in the state to throw for 12,000 career yards. As good as he is, Brayden is hardly a one-man show out there. We're joined in the studio this evening by one of Shelby's new additions. He's a senior who arrived at Shelby this year from Mansfield Senior. We're joined by Carter Kessler. Carter, thanks for coming in. Sorry it took so long to get to you, but thanks for stopping by.
Yes, sir.
Before we go any further, we need to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Graham Auto Mall. Whether you're cruising in for a new ride or keeping your current one in top shape, Graham Auto Mall has you covered. Shop a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles or trust their expert service team to keep you on the road. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, stop by Graham at 1515 West 4th Street in Mansfield or visit GrahamAutomall.com. Graham Auto Mall, your hometown dealer. We got a lot to get to with Carter, but before we dive into it, you had an interesting Saturday night this past week. Tell the folks what you got to do last weekend.
So last weekend on Saturday, I got to see Ohio State versus Ohio. Man, it was a great experience, man. They say that they got the best fans in the nation. They sure do, man. It's like a family down there. It's like brotherhood, like everyone says. Just from seeing it on TV and in real person, it's way different.
It's probably interesting to walk out of the tunnel and see 105,000 people. Huh? What's that like? Can you even wrap your head around that?
Man, it's a crazy experience. Like, we're there an hour and 30 minutes early, and the stands are already packed. It's hard to see the open seats, so it was a great experience.
What's that whole day look like? I mean, what do they do for you? What do you guys get to do?
So what was interesting is, like, they gave us a tailgate. We got to eat with the fans and stuff. They gave us great food, and then we got to eat again after the shuttle bus took us to the stadium. And then we got to walk through the tunnel, watch everybody warm up, watch the first half. Then at halftime, we got to eat again. Then we finished out the game, and then we did the little alma mater at the end.
Okay.
So it was a great experience.
It sounds like they got it figured out if they feed these kids 3 times.
For sure. That's the key. The food.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just your thoughts on the Horseshoe. I mean, what's that venue like? It's an iconic venue, I'm sure. Have you been there before? I mean, or was that your first trip?
That was actually my first time. I'm usually an at-home watching college football guy.
Okay.
But, man, it was interesting. Like, the fans play such a big part in the game. The stadium's shaking. You can't hear nothing on the field. It'd be crazy.
And we said earlier, it's Shelby draws well, but not 105,000 well. Could you see yourself playing down there on Saturdays next year or going forward? I mean, can you see yourself doing that?
I mean, yeah, man. I love the colors, man. I love the brotherhood.
Now, what are they telling you? Would it be a scholarship offer? Would it be a preferred walk-on position? Have they talked to you about that stuff?
So they had me visiting. They had interest and stuff, but they recently just had a 5-star recruit out of Cali commit that plays my position, and they only had 1 roster spot. So they were kind of, if he committed somewhere else, that would have been me.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's this recruiting business is strange to me. I mean, they're always looking for someone, and it's
right. Well, it's just that it's a business. But what's interesting and what's nice about it is the fact that they brought you in. The interest is there, and the one thing that's great about recruiting is it's like it's infectious amongst other teams, and that's why I love how social media works. You put on social media that I'm being recruited by Ohio State. Now watch what that does to other schools.
Right.
Like, well, wait a minute. If they're looking at Carter, then we need to be. Why aren't we? Somebody's coach somewhere is looking like, why aren't we looking at him? And that's how recruiting works. And it's important for students and young men to understand that not every school is going to may not give you the scholarship offer right away, but just that experience can open up other doors to different places, and usually it puts you in a place where you're supposed to be anyway.
And, I mean, you have offers from West Virginia and Memphis both. I mean, would you consider, I mean, if it was just a walk-on at Ohio State, would you consider taking that over a guaranteed spot at one of those other schools? I mean, is that something you've thought about?
I want to say so, man. A preferred walk-on is completely different than where you're wanted to be.
Right.
For sure, and you're getting money, and you're guaranteed a spot on the team.
Right. Now, have you visited West Virginia yet, or it's coming up? Or
So my West Virginia official visit is the 27th.
Okay. Have you been down there at all, or that'll be your first
No,
time?
it's my first time in Morgantown.
Well, from everything we've heard, that's one of those places that you're gonna like it when you get there.
It is a unique atmosphere in Morgantown, man. It is I was there for a basketball tournament. It's been some years ago. It's been years ago, but I was there for a basketball tournament. It is a unique atmosphere there, man, and they have Ohio State has a great fan base as well, but their fan base is Ohio fans they love their Buckeyes, but West Virginia fans, they're one with their team. You know what I mean?
Right.
In the football, you talk to football fans of West Virginia, they're like, no, this is our team.
We,
not, we are part. They feel like they can walk in the locker room and, see what's going on in here. So it's a unique experience down there, man.
Now, a lot of guys in your class have committed. I mean, locally, the guys have. I mean, are you concerned about that, or do you feel like the clock's ticking, or are you okay with waiting it out here a little bit?
I mean, I'm making my decision the 28th, but I'm in no rush at all, man. I mean, it's just me versus me, and I think it's great that our class is very talented, and we got a lot of guys in the area.
28th of September? You're
Yes,
making it?
sir.
Ooh, well, if you want to break news on this podcast,
we can have you come back in.
Morgantown.
I mean, and you mentioned it. I mean, we talked a little bit about it in our lead up here. I mean, you came over from senior high to Shelby this year. Just take us through that decision. How'd you arrive at that decision?
So I grew up in Shelby my whole life.
Okay.
Got a lot of guys, a lot of brothers. And I went to Shelby, played with a bunch of my family, Elias Owens, Sean Tanner. It was just a lot of things. We weren't successful. And then also my uncle, Chokey Bradley, he retired. So that made a big part in my decision that I was going to go play for Shelby.
Right. And, I mean, even though some of that, I would imagine it's still kind of a scary thing, right? I mean, it's still a little nervous. I mean, where were you mentally, I guess, when you went over there? Was it kind of a scary thing for you?
I mean, yeah, it was scary. I mean, I took an opportunity, and I just knew that I had to be the best me, and I had to grind it out so I would have the best opportunity for myself.
Now, a couple of years ago, you were a big part of a Mansfield Senior, the defense, when you were a sophomore over here. That I think as a sophomore, you had 50 tackles on a team that reached the third round of the playoffs. That team lost to Toledo Central Catholic, and we talked a little bit about that in the open. They have a habit of ending people's seasons from around here. But and then last year as a junior, you had 63 tackles, I think 7.5 sacks. Leaving that behind was probably difficult, right?
Yeah, it was a hard decision, man, but I just knew that I wanted to win. I love winning. I hate losing, but I just had to sacrifice it.
Now, you weren't the only person who Shelby has some other guys who came in. Landon Foltz came in from Ontario, and I think Gavin Baker came in from Madison, and then a guy from Marion Harding. I mean, how were you received? I mean, as a group, is it hard to come in, or did they welcome you with open arms?
I mean, that's one thing I will say about Shelby. It's like a brotherhood. We have so much team bonding, and everybody loves each other and so much chemistry. I haven't been there that long, but I grew up there. But I can just tell the guys like Landon, Gavin, and Caden, man, they're already soaked into the family, and it's great.
If I remember a while back at Mansfield Senior, DeJour Gibson transferred to senior high from Lima Senior, and if I'm not mistaken, Mario Davison and DeJour Gibson got in a fight the year before.
Right.
All of a sudden, you're on the same team. I mean, chemistry is a real thing, and that's that when you're bringing or having kids come in, it's something that takes some work.
Well, I'm sure, and I'm sure Carter can attest to the fact that there's going to have to be some adjustment to, team culture, school culture, all that is a change when you come in because things change. The way you practice, the way you the way you operate and your habits are going to have to change when you go from one team, one school to the next. And sometimes that happens smoothly, and depending on your teammates, sometimes that can cause conflict. So, we've had, I've coached some teams where we've had players come in and it wasn't that smooth, but I've also had players come in and they have been excellent. We had a player named Dante Davis come in from Ontario years ago. Excellent ball player, probably one of the best to ever play at senior high. But he, as good as he was, even though he probably came in as one of our better players, he understood that, look, I've got a role to play. He didn't come in. He had the right attitude, and because of that, I think that helped the culture of the team. That helped the team accept him, and like Carter was saying, that helped them ingratiate him into the family a little bit easier.
Right. Now, is it learning a new offense and learning a new defense? I mean, how big of a transition is that? I mean, is the terminology all different? I mean, are the schemes all different? I mean, that seems like a lot to get thrown at all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's a lot of different things, man, but it's just football. You got to deal with it, and you have to deal with it at the next level as well. So I was ready, came and prepared, and studied hard.
I think, 17 tackles and 3 sacks through the first 4 weeks of the season. I mean, do you feel like your productivity at Shelby is similar, on par with what you were doing at senior high?
So I feel like the off season is way more intense. Like we're working to get more athletic, stronger, and we're actually stretching a lot more. And I think that helps us with our mobility and it keeps us from injuries.
In addition to what you've done defensively at Shelby, I think you've caught 7 passes for 86 yards, a touchdown. I mean, offensive. I mean, you're a defensive guy. You're an edge rusher by nature, I think. But I mean, do you enjoy playing offense? Are you better at offense or defense? Do you feel?
I mean, I just love football, man. I just love playing the sport. I was born to play, but I feel like I'm getting recruited for edge, so I'd say I'm better at defense for sure.
That's a spot that has become more and more important at every level of football. Is that edge rusher? I mean, that's like a premier spot to be playing.
Right, and I think if you're a quarterback or someone who pressures the quarterback in football right now, those are the prime areas. And when you think about it, Carter, do you have someone either in college or pro that you say, this is who I model my game after, or I see somebody who that's who I want to play like, or I play like that person, or I see their game in me. Is there someone out there like that exists?
I mean, I'd do a Carter, man. He's a dog out of Penn State.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched him a lot last year, and I've got to watch him a little bit during the season, but that's a guy right there for sure.
He's a man. He's a man for sure.
Absolutely. And I mean, and I've seen pictures of Miles. I mean, those edge rushers are specimens. I mean, they are guys who are just put together. I mean, I think that's just the evolution of the game at this point. Is that they're not just big dudes, but they are super freakishly athletic too.
Well, and if there's a time where those edge rushers they were like anchors. They used to be anchors. The old days of like Reggie White and those guys. They just pushed the tackles around. Well, now those guys not only push them around, they fly by them.
Right.
So you got to be athletic and powerful to be that edge guy. So that position has evolved to be more athletic and strong. You got to be a combination of both. And we talked a lot. We've had a lot of tight ends. Seems like we've had a lot of tight ends in. But it's that skill set is so important to have. You got to have multiple skill set, but it's all about strength, footwork, speed. All that stuff matters. And like you said, being a football player is most important. It's not so much about position. So that's key.
And Mansfield's own Hugh Douglas was one of those edge guys, wasn't he, back in the day?
Absolutely. And I think he was one of the trendsetters. He was one of the first in that new mold of edge. Speed. He was not very big, but because he was fast and powerful, he changed the mold of what an edge rusher is today. He was one of the first that said, I don't have to be huge and just bull rush every tackle. I'm going to go by him, but yet I'm strong enough to hold up against the run. Right. So he was the new mold of today's edge rusher.
And he had to go up against, was it Eric Williams?
Yeah, right.
You better figure something out if you're going up against Eric Williams back in the day. So you and we talked a little bit about Brayden DeVito in the Open. He's a guy who stopped by earlier in the year. I mean, what's it like playing with that kid? I mean, you guys, I'm sure, know all the numbers. I mean, we've rehashed them over and over here, but he's one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in the history of the state of Ohio. I mean, is that? I mean, that's got to be kind of hard to wrap your head around.
I mean, I knew that. I've known him since 4th grade.
Okay.
He's always been a crazy athlete, that guy. You could tell even when we were younger that he was going to stand out when we got to high school.
Is he all business in the huddle when you walk into the huddle?
Man, I love that guy, man. He makes jokes. He's serious in times, and he just does the right thing always.
He didn't strike me as a joke maker when he was in here. He seemed like he was all about he was going to stand on business.
Yeah, the guy's going to the Air Force Academy. You know what I mean? You can't get a smile out of him hardly. Yeah.
I mean, you guys have a pretty big senior class, and seniors are generally looked on to provide leadership for a team. I mean, are you like threading a needle since you're a guy who didn't play at Shelby the first? I mean, do you take that leadership role on, or do you let that go for the guys who have been there all 4 years?
I mean, I feel like everybody plays a part in leadership, and I feel comfortable leading because I grew up with these guys, and they know I'm about business, and yeah.
Now, last week you guys encountered your biggest test to date. I mean, it was 45-34 against a Galleon team that probably is surprising some people. I mean, just take us through that game. I mean, I think you guys trailed in the first half, probably for the first time all year, and you didn't have a lead until halftime. I mean, just take us through that game. I mean, what was that like?
I mean, man, we seen them. We weren't that intimidated. I felt like we overlooked Galleon.
Okay.
Galleon didn't really play that much competition, you would say, the first 3 games.
Right.
But they came in hard, and we just knew that we're the better team. And we had to sit down, do our job, and do our part because our coaches are there for us. So, yeah.
Do you appreciate or, is there value in being tested like that a little bit by a team that maybe you didn't expect it from? Because, I mean, I know there's nothing more satisfying than just crushing a team, but is it helpful to kind of realize, okay, maybe we do have to go 100% till the end of the game? As a competitor, I'm sure that's satisfying.
I mean, yeah, man, I can't say I hate blowing out teams, but I love a competition.
Yes.
I love one, man. Yeah. It gets down to the 4th quarter. I love it.
I would think it's important to face some adversity too along the way. It's running clocks in the second half. They don't test your mettle.
Well, I've always said, man, I think that's the right thing to say, but I love blowouts. As a coach, I loved them. As a player, I loved them. Test me later. You know what I mean? I'll just give me the blowout, man. I'd rather test me when it comes time. But if I'm the dominant team, I want to play like it. Test me when it comes that when we're playing a team that can test me, then I'll get tested. But I hated those games that come down and we're in the trenches, and I know it was good for us. But man, just give me the blowout. Just play well, do everything right all the time.
And Hayden, you probably had some Brennan Armstrong games. I mean, you guys were. I mean, they were a year younger than you, right? But I mean that year, you guys were a regional finalist your senior year. I mean, there were probably some one-sided affairs there too, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a good mixture, through getting to play under Brennan for 3 years. Early on, I think was still some figuring some things out, so we were in some close games. As I got older, I loved the blowouts even more because then Hayden at second string got a little bit more playing time. But, I mean, there were games that, were runaways, but then you also have the 83-82 games.
I was going to say that.
I
can't believe we've never talked about that game.
That went to the wire till the next day.
Shelby is atop the Region 14 rankings, and I don't know if you guys have looked at it. It's significant. I think they have a 5-point lead. They're the only team in the region who's still unbeaten, and I think there's only 2 regions in the state that only have one unbeaten team, and Shelby is one of them in Region 14. All that said, and I'm sure you guys can see that stuff now. I mean, it's available everywhere. I mean, is it hard to focus on the task at hand when you know that you're playing in a region that you're kind of running away with?
Me and our coaches talk about all the time that the internet's poison, man. It tastes good, but it could kill us at the same exact time. And I think that keeps us focused, that we know that we are good, but we can be better.
Yeah. And there was a time when you had to wait for the OHSAA to release those regional rankings, and they didn't start doing it till week 5. So they're now. I don't know. Is it bad to have all the information all at once that these kids have?
We are in the information age,
right?
You know what I mean? So I've always said now I think young people are so accustomed to having all the information, so I don't think it hurts them as much, I think, as it would us possibly. I think they're used to knowing everything right now. But at the same time, I like the way the coaches are putting that. Like, look, you still have to keep everything in front of you and understand that you can start reading it if you want, but it doesn't matter. And I will say this, and I've always said this to my players, it doesn't matter if you're the better team. It only means if you can play, the other team just has to play the better game one night, and you can get beat. And there's been a lot of nights where the lesser team has played the better game. So with that in mind, especially in football, and that's why I love high school sports, because so many times the lesser team plays the better game.
Right.
And if you don't come ready to play, and we were talking earlier about teams, before you know it, you're down 3 scores, and all of a sudden your mind gets ahead of you, and you're like, what the heck are we supposed to do now? We might be the better team, but we're down 3 scores. What the heck are we supposed to do?
And football is a funny game. I mean, just a fumble here.
Absolutely.
That stuff, it can unravel on you in a hurry.
Absolutely.
Now, Shelby has won 17 straight regular season games. It's, I don't know, it goes back to a couple seasons ago. Is that, I don't know, are you guys aware of that? Is it something that's talked about? I would imagine that you're starting to, 17 in a row, you're starting to get into some historic places. Do you guys talk about it?
Yeah. Every game we're trying to defend the WAC, every home game. We're not trying to lose ever. So, yeah, it's definitely a big accomplishment, almost going on to 20 home games won.
Right. And, it doesn't happen very often. That's you're starting to talk about historic stuff. Lengthy winning streaks like that, or football is different. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, especially with the quality of competition, and sometimes it's easier for some programs than others to maintain winning streaks because you can set it up that way.
Right.
But when you're playing some quality competition and things like that, it's difficult.
Talking about Marion local.
But right.
Marion local.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go put that over the airways.
I said it. You didn't say it.
I wouldn't put that over the airways. But especially, and I love things like things like home winning streaks, and I love that stuff because that's a sense of pride, man.
Right.
And you can pass that on to your young players, and that's something that they can look forward to. And you say, hey, look, we're not going to be the class to let that go.
Right.
We're not going to be the ones that let that go.
Obviously, you guys have some pretty high what are expectations for you guys this year? What is that something that goes unsaid too, or is it, do you verbalize it? Do you talk about it?
We all know what the goal is. Everyone, you want to win 15 to 16 games a year. Everyone knows that. But our coaches and I, we like to focus on the next game.
Right.
We don't like to get too ahead of ourselves, get on Rainbow Valley, man, and we just like to keep doing our own thing every Friday.
I would imagine it's difficult to keep kids focused on the task at hand sometimes. Sure. when you're dealing with all those things. This is a team with super high expectations. You've coached some teams with super high expectations.
Yeah. It is difficult, but I think, like Carter was saying, you have to maintain a sense of presence and where you are today, because you certainly can't get too high. You don't want to get too low. And early on, we used to talk about how you can't beat down your team and tell them that they're terrible because they're great. They are a great team.
Right.
And you can't tell them they're super great because you don't want them to think they're unbeatable. But you got to stay present. Like, look, we're undefeated today. Right now we are a good team. No one has beat us, and we are a good team. So right now we want to stay where we are, and we want to continue to get better, so we can maintain that. And that's a good place to be, and that's a great coaching point. But one thing I want you to speak on a little bit, Carter, is when you think about how you have been able to help this team, what is your biggest attribute when you think about, this is how Carter is able to, help Shelby. This is my biggest attribute to this team. These are the biggest attributes. I wouldn't say one, but just what are a couple things that you say you bring to this team, especially with you being a senior? What are some things that you say, I bring this to the table?
I mean, I'd say I bring a lot of energy to the game,
Yeah.
man. I mean, I love celebrating. I love celebrating with my teammates. It's a family thing. But I'd also say doing my job. I'm one of them guys that the coach knows I'll do my job if he puts me in the game.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
like
that's especially in football. I mean, you hear coaches say it all the time. It's a 1/11th thing. Just do
man.
your job.
Got to be dependable, man. And I will tell you right now, if I can depend on you to do the number of coaches that tell me the reason why we struggle is because our players don't trust one another. This player is trying to do too much. I feel like I got to cover for him because I don't trust that he can do his job. That's so much of football failure is because players don't trust each other on the field. So that's the thing. So if you hear coaches talk so much about doing your job, and it's not necessarily for that player, it's for everyone to understand. If I do mine, then I can trust that he'll do his. So, that is a huge characteristic, and if everybody had that, and then I can trust that you can do it, we're going to have a successful team.
Was that trust there from the jump when you got back to Shelby? I mean, did you feel pretty confident in the guys around you?
Yeah, I did. I mean, they had a lot of success the year before, and I got to watch them in the playoffs a little bit, and I just knew that they wanted to win as bad as I did, so I believe they'll do their job.
Right. Now, you were a basketball player or still playing basketball, or did you give it up? Or we're big fans of multi-sport athletes around here, and so
Don't give it up.
So this year, I'll probably be early enrolling
Okay.
to the next school I go to that I choose. But, I mean, I've played basketball my whole life. I played AAU, all that, and then I love basketball.
Right. And we've talked to a lot of guys about the early enrollment thing, and we don't need to rehash it. But I mean, did everything transfer for you in terms of what came over from senior high to Shelby? I mean, you're still on track to finish early.
Yep. All my things, every class I've done is NCAA approved, and it went just fine through the process.
That's a whole different field, a minefield you have to learn how to navigate now.
And you have to start early with it. Like, you got to know ahead of time. You can't just start that as a senior and say, hey, I want to grad. You got to kind of know ahead of time what you want to do with that. And, I guess I'm going to ask you the same way we've asked some other guys. Was that something for you? And it sounds like you made the decision about it. Was it something that you tossed around a little bit? Was it something that you had to weigh, or was it just something that you knew you had to do? You were going to have to graduate early.
So I wanted to play college football my whole life since I was a little boy. I wasn't that deep into it until my freshman year. Mm-hmm. And then I would say my junior year is when I started to think I would probably have to early enroll because that puts me up there against the other recruits, the other 26 recruits that are coming in, because I've been working with the team. I've been closer to the coaches and stuff, and that puts me at a higher position to get to make an impact my freshman year.
There it is.
Yeah, and it seems like, I mean, and again, we've talked about it before, but these college guys are saying you don't have to, but it'd be a really, but you have to. It'd be a really good. Is that kind of what you're experiencing?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Well, tell us about the tattoo on your arm.
So the one on my inside of my forearm, it says "Golden Child," which that would be me being the first child, and then one of one. I'm only one person. Then I got a clock, and that's the time I was born, and then my mom's initials, the year I was born, and then this one it says "Chosen One," which I believe I'm a chosen one.
Are you done? Are you gonna get more of them?
I'll probably get more of them for sure.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, you got room.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, good. I think that's everything we had. We like to wrap it up with something we call the 2-minute drill. We'll throw a bunch of questions, ask you our questions at you. You can just fire answers back at us. All right, this is a tough one to start with. Duke Reese or Brayden DeVito? Now, for those who don't know, Duke Reese was a very successful quarterback at senior high when Carter was there as a youngster, but led him to the third round of the playoffs 2 years in a row.
I got to go with Brayden DeVito, man. He's something special. He's a prodigy.
Okay. How about the 2023 senior high defense or the 2025 Shelby defense? There's that 2023 defense.
Yeah.
They had some guys.
I gotta say the 2023 defense.
Okay.
From Mansfield.
Okay. Shioki Bradley or Rob Mahaney?
Man.
Fifth. Take the fifth.
Yeah, come on.
Plead the fifth
Kurt's
on that
trying
one.
to get you.
Yeah, he's trying to get him booked.
Right. No, that's I expected a hard pass on that one. Well, I mean, and we touched a little bit. What do you think you offer a college program? I mean, what do you do well?
Once again, I bring energy, do my job. I'm a grinder, so I do what the coach wants me to do, even if that's the clap on the sidelines. I mean, man, I'll do whatever you want.
What do you need to work on before you arrive on a campus?
What do I need to work on? I would say the books. You can always work on the books.
Okay.
Always.
When you're not playing football, what is it? What do you do for fun?
I love fishing and spending time with my girlfriend, man.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Best fishing hole, or is that something you'd uncomfortable telling people?
Yeah, don't give away.
I don't know if I
the
tell secrets now.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
fishermen are not.
Fair
They're not
enough.
comfortable.
Favorite college team?
Ooh, O-State. I grew up in Ohio, man. It's just, yeah, always be a Buckeye.
Favorite pro team?
Ooh, I don't really have a favorite pro team, but I would say I like watching the Ravens right now. They're exciting to watch.
Okay. What does life after football look like for Carter Kessler? What do you?
I mean, man, ever since I was little, the goal would be to go to college, and then my junior year get into the draft and go to the league. That's always been my goal since I was 6 years old, maybe.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up here for this week's episode. We appreciate you stopping by, and Carter, thanks for making some time and coming over.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.